if you demo a house, it's about 24 tonnes of waste. So if we put that across, say, Kaingora's housing plan, where they've got 7,500 houses to clear, that's about 180,000 tonnes of waste material potentially going to landfill. And it's a sign of inefficiency in our economic system and in our whole entire system to see that stuff thrown away. So when I'm running a business, the last thing I want is inefficiency. I make the most of everything we have so that that's our profit, and yet here we are, tonnes and tonnes of waste going to landfills.
Everything here, everything, not one thing you could see was not heading to landfill. Everything here was heading to landfill, which is pretty normal.
There are places where you'll just see, beautiful timber coming in. You'll see everything you could possibly imagine. The amount of good resource that goes into them, and it's standing and watching trucks go into a landfill is phenomenal, and seeing the stuff we're throwing away as a society is quite alarming. All this material that has been hard fought to make. There's been a high carbon content possibly as it's been imported to Aotearoa, and then just to see it discarded so quickly and into a big pit in the ground, doesn't matter how well it's run, is not a good feeling.
Society's not set up for a circular solution. Society's set up for linear, and so I think the biggest barrier is change, actually, because changing headspaces from we normally do this, chuck it in here, and it goes somewhere. We don't care about it.
There needs to be a combined effort from the trades, council, government, and the general public to get on board and try and get rid of skip culture.
We're using the wrong measures. We need to be measuring its environmental, its human effect, not just how cheap an item is or its usability or convenience. That's not a measure of value that I partner with.
How do we address this huge problem? Well, you address it by starting small. So you have a little spark. And so these little initiatives that are popping up all around Auckland may seem like, they don't have much scale, but that's what will start the big transformation, and we're already starting to see that happen.
Everybody's welcome to the space because we have so much work to do, and so we want everybody to come together, learn together, be educated together, and again, if we can shift the behaviours of our top 1 to 6% of our corporates, that affects the vast majority of New Zealanders.
The key is definitely education and giving the tradies options. Currently, the vibe I'm getting is that they don't want to be filling up skips with good material. They do it because there's no option. The future looks good if we give them an option.
I think we'll see a tipping point. I think we'll see things change very quickly, and it's not, it is exponential. When it starts shifting, which we're seeing now, it'll change.
I believe the answers are always supported by government, but executed locally. And so no matter where we go, it's always about working locally with people in their community.
We've been fortunate to be working with Auckland Council in particular, and supporting them, and how do we help the community get more involved, and community enterprise and social enterprises get involved in the solution of diverting waste from landfills.
I don't think that I would be able to have been as effective without the support from other people, like-minded people doing the same things. And so we have 7 CRCs set up across the Auckland region at the moment, and the ability for us to come together to share knowledge, to share ideas, to share technology, sometimes even to just share the challenges that we're having has been amazing. So we don't work in isolation. There is a massive amount of support around us. Combine that with the community support, and I think I've probably got one of the best jobs out there. It is really fulfilling. It's hard work, but it would certainly be one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had.
So we're seeing a lot of good intent coming from central and local government with the waste levy increasing and funding, contracts like these, and that's because particularly local government is really trying to reduce waste to landfill. It's a big issue for them. They also want to do the best they can to reduce carbon emissions, need to increase community resiliency, and of course at the moment everyone's thinking about employment and how do we generate good jobs, meaningful jobs. The great thing is if you deal with the first one of those, reducing waste to landfill, you end up dealing with the others at the same time. So you get the quadruple win from dealing with waste. So you reduce waste to landfill, you're going to end up reducing carbon emissions from the transport of that material, the decomposition of it in a landfill. You're also going to create community resiliency because you're going to now have options, and we saw that after the earthquakes in the South Island. People being able to get materials when they needed them instantly. And then you also obviously generate employment opportunities. So it's a no-brainer for central and local government, and that's why we're seeing them take such great steps in this direction.
What responsibility do I have to be a sustainable and positive member of humanity? If we all ask that, the equation starts to change.